Hello again, Dave.
Hello again, Matt. Excuse me. Okay, we're recording?
We are recording.
Okay. Another MJ Mike Sewell question. Question for Dave. The only frustratingly off-limits information continues to be from CerebusTV. Going back and listening to all the Please Hold for Dave Sim podcasts, there is scant mention of CBTV, although many clips do appear on YouTube. Will the episodes ever be released? Where are they now? Can you talk about how CerebusTV came to be? It was an idea that I had to do, and excuse me, coincidentally, Max Southall, who was a fellow comic fan back in the 1960s, and then moved to California, moved to Florida, came back to Kitchener around the time that I was developing the idea for CerebusTV, and we decided to collaborate on it because he's a computer guy, a very high-end kind of computer guy, and he could solve the problem of doing what essentially was the broadcast. I would produce the actual content with Dave Fisher, and then Max would figure out how to stream CerebusTV to interested subscribers. The collaboration got off to not a great start, and didn't really work out for either of us. But in the meantime, CerebusTV was still being produced, and I was working on it on the same basis that I tend to work on anything with anybody with. We both worked on this. If you want to do something with it, you do something with it. If I want to do something with it, I'll do something with it. The deal that I've got with Todd McFarlane on Spawn 10, and with at the time with Peter on Turtles 8, and now with Paramount Pictures on Turtles 8. Dave Fisher was fine with that. It's like, Fisher can do whatever he wants with CerebusTV. I can do whatever I want with CerebusTV, and Max can do whatever he wants with CerebusTV. If you can figure out a way to make money off of it, that's great. If it's not a lot of money, then you just keep it. Which was as everybody knows, the deal with Oliver Simonson on the 3D Cerebus movie. When we came down to push came to shove, and I said, if the revenues from it are Chinese food money, and you keep the Chinese food money, and you and Karma can just order Chinese food every time that the X amount of money comes in on the Cerebus movie. So that's where it stands right now. I have no real interest in doing anything with it. Dave Fisher has no real interest in doing anything with it. While I've been cleaning up the Off-White House, I did find mock-ups for DVD cases for first 5 episodes of CerebusTV. Here's and Dave Fisher had mocked up a cover for it and a back cover for it. This is what he's thinking of, and I think that is Dave Fisher and I, still have the first 5 episodes. We've got first few episodes. Max has X number of episodes that he put together that he hasn't shared with us. We've shared all of the CerebusTV episodes with him, but he's got CerebusTV episodes that he's just decided he's the only one that's going to have them. He did do CerebusTV as a website and set up his own PayPal system as to how it would run, and I assume made some kind of revenues off it, but ultimately not enough revenue to warrant keeping it going, which is what he was doing for a period of time. It's not one of the, one of the concerns is that, of course, it's all copyrighted material that I'm talking about. That was more of a concern back in 2009 than it is now, where I think a lot of copyrighted material is on there, and as long as you're commenting on it or it's got some historical or scholastic attachment to it, then it's considered fair usage. So I think we're moving from the point where this was an outlaw enterprise on the internet to a point where it's just what people do. This is, a lot of people do podcasts. This would be, Dave Sims' streaming podcast of him talking about different comics things. I can't see any real way to make money from it. Dave Fisher has the digital files for all of the CerebusTV episodes. He produced DVDs for me that had illustrated covers. I would do the episode, he would cut it together, do the sound and the editing, and then post it to the internet. And whoever wanted to watch it could watch it. And then, like I say, produce these DVDs starting from about, I'm guessing, episode 37 or 50, somewhere around there. And then I've got most of them in these illustrated cases up to episode 100. And I think it went for a few episodes after number 100. And those are all of those cases, the illustrated cases that Dave Fisher printed out and included the DVDs, are in a stack in the Off-White House Library. And every once in a while, if I have to dig out one of them to check on something, it's there. But in terms of, is there a market for 100 episodes of CerebusTV? I don't really think so. It's probably there will be as time goes along. Most of these things are just you encountering them because you're new to this whole obsessive Cerebus fandom thing. So it's like there's a thing called CerebusTV. It's Dave Sim talking about comics and showing him drawing and interviews with other cartoonists. Why isn't this available? And it's like, well, I think most of it has to do with the fact that Max tried making it available and to make enough money from it to make it worth, all of his investment of time and investment of computer power and computer technology. And that didn't happen. Dave Fisher is, I don't think, not really inclined to do anything with the material for the reason that he can see how big and arduous a task it would be, and if you invest all of these man hours in, building a website and making it the CerebusTV website, Dave Fisher's CerebusTV website, and posting all the videos, and it costs this much to download them. I think we know that the illegal downloads will follow very, very quickly, and that'll be where people go to watch CerebusTV. So, however much time and money Fisher or Max or me would put into it to make it available, that money's gone, and we'll make Chinese food money from it, and there's only so many hours in the day. There's only so many things that you can work on. So consequently, it's it's not something that any of us are going, yeah, I really have to do this. I think we're all proud of CerebusTV. I know I'm proud of CerebusTV. I have favorite episodes that I think, yeah, if I had the time, I'd sit down and watch that one again. But in terms of, I think it's one of those. In your previous question, where I wasn't going to flip backward here, but I'll flip backward. Matt, you wrote, he's Dodger now because I let him in the Little Orphan Aardvark Secret Society because he gave me a buttload of money for Cerebus and Hellback issues. Well, if you're one of those guys who has a buttload of money, I could certainly put you in contact with Dave Fisher, and Dave Fisher could ballpark you. This is what I would charge you to download all of these onto a thumb drive so that you have all of the CerebusTV that we have. It won't be all of CerebusTV because there'll be the episodes that only Max has. We're all just, trying to make a living and pay for groceries that are getting more and more and more expensive, and trying to figure out when does this finally max out. So, it would be a matter of, contacting Dave Fisher and saying, I will pay you X amount of money for all of the episodes of CerebusTV that you have. Then it would be a matter of, okay, how long is it going to take Fisher to do it? And how is, what format is he going to put them on? Probably they would fit on a thumb drive now. That was one of the problems back in 2009. How do you store all of these, let alone how do you disseminate all of these? Make him an offer. It's not something that he's thought about, I'm sure. It's not something that I think about. Although, again, cleaning the off-white house and really cleaning it, I found like 2 boxes of CerebusTV material. Just here's the history of CerebusTV. I know there's a CerebusTV box out the back at Camp David that has everything that I had ready to hand in the off-White House that I went, okay, I don't want to throw this out, but I don't really have any need for it in the foreseeable future. So Rolly, here, just make a Cerebus TV box and put all of this stuff in it. It's, it's one of those, you would have to, it almost calls for a division head, which is one of the things that I started doing, making Jennifer the division head of Strange Death of Alex Raymond, and Leverett Butts, a professor in Florida, who I did a seminar class remotely with his community college class on Judenhaus, and I persuaded him to be the Judenhaus division head, which he's going to be working on his summer vacation. How do I sell Judenhaus? Who do I sell it to? How do I get it into schools? All those kinds of things. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's fine. But it's like, here's something that I don't have time to work on. But here's something that if you want to have time to work on, here's what you can work on. We possibly need a Cerebus TV division head where, okay, here's everything having to do with Cerebus TV. If you can figure out how to package this in such a way that people will buy it, and there will be revenue generated for me and for Fisher and for Max Southall, I can't see anybody standing in your way. But in terms of who is going to do this and how much of their own time and money are they going to put into this, that's always the variable. That's there's all kinds of stuff. It's the Cerebus archive is a very, very big archive, and there's lots and lots of stuff in it in lots and lots of different categories, and Cerebus TV is one of them. Nobody has figured out how to make it work in such a way that it doesn't just go onto YouTube as illegal downloads and everybody watches Cerebus TV there and doesn't pay for it.
Well, to be fair, when it was on YouTube, it was SimTV, and I remember SimTV. It was great because Friday nights, Cerebus TV would get the new episode, but if you weren't there at 10 o'clock, you'd miss the beginning of the episode, and you had to wait for it to repeat, and as more episodes got made, it was longer and longer to wait for the repeat to come back. So Saturday nights, when it went up on YouTube as SimTV, I was a big proponent of I want my SimTV. It was great. I loved SimTV because it had a pause button. You could stop and go to the bathroom if you had to.
Right.
The problem with Cerebus TV was it was a live stream, and we kept complaining back in the day of, can we get a pause button? We don't want to fast forward through anything. We don't want to rewind. We just like to pause for just a minute. And it was, no, that's not what this is designed for. And it's like, I got what the idea was, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to wait 3 hours to find out what Todd's answer was when you asked him a question because I had to walk away.
Right.
And the weird part about SimTV is after Cerebus TV kind of died and went away, SimTV disappeared off of YouTube, and I don't think any of that content's on there anymore.
Right. Yeah, it was one of those, nobody wanted to step on anybody's toes. Nobody wanted, I didn't want to offend Max. Dave Fisher didn't want to offend Max. We didn't want some big disputatious series of overlapping concerns. So it was kind of, well, okay, that'll about do it for me. It was an idea that I tried. It lasted about 3 years, I'm guessing, maybe 2 years as weekly episodes.
There was I know there was at least 104 episodes, because episode 103 or 104 is where page 9 from Glamourpuss 25 first showed up. It was in the opening. It was in the opening bit. It was just a bunch of quick flashes of art, and I'm like, wait a minute, is that an iguana? Like, wait a minute, is that a beer can? Oh, is that the script I wrote? Like, that's how I found out that the story made it to press.
Okay, yeah, it looms large in your legend.
Yeah, and that was one of those, I know that episode 100 I get a shout out. The earlier episodes, it was just, it was hard to catch them. I mean, the talk you had with Todd, where over the phone you guys made the gentleman's agreement about what to do with Spawn 10, I think I've watched half the episode 6 times, and it was never the other half.
I'm sorry.
Well, like I said, I remember there was fundraising involved with the Yahoo group of, hey, here's the new episode of CerebusTV, and if you kick in money, you get your name on the banner, and if you kick in enough money, you get merch and stuff, and every single time, Jeff Seiler would say, how much does he effing want for a pause button?
Okay, well, we've got the technology now for pause buttons, and I done been told. So I think it's really a matter of we'll leave it there with the amount of time that it would take for Fisher to put them all together onto a memory stick for somebody, or a thumb drive for somebody. That's the issue. I don't even know if he'd be willing to do it. I don't know how much disposable time he has. I've been last time I spoke with him, I apologized for overloading him with the Kevin Eastman discussions plus the weekly updates, and it's there's no way of telling when you're prevailing on somebody to an extent that you shouldn't be prevailing upon them. So it would be a matter of how long would it take Fisher to download all of the episodes of CerebusTV onto a thumb drive, where you will have your own pause button and fast forward and rewind and all of those things. And I would suspect it would be a matter of once he had done it once and went, okay, that's how you do that, then it would be, okay, I can tell you that it's going to cost you this much if you want, the complete CerebusTV.
Well, for the people that missed out, they did miss out. My favorite episodes were the ones where it's you talking about whatever you were working on, and then the next 25 minutes was just Dave inking.
Right.
The comments on those videos almost every time were, the usual gang of yahoos going, I could watch this all day.
Right.
Right. That's the kind of stuff where I'm like, this page from Glamourpuss, that whatever. I think some of the IDW covers may have even made it into there, but I could be wrong on that.
Right.
But
yeah, I appreciate that, and I'm sure Max Southall appreciates that, and I'm sure Dave Fisher appreciates that. But it's a matter of, again, there's only so many hours in the day. How many times have we gotten to this place in the conversation where we realize that it's a matter of people saying somebody should really ... And it's like, somebody's fine, but to quote you from earlier on, definitely not me.
Ed Zachary.
Right. So, MJ, Mike Sewell, I will leave it at that. Dave Matt, you've got Dave Fisher's email address, right?
I do. So if anyone wants to send their request,
not wait. Not anyone. Give it to Mike because if he's willing to give you bucket loads of money for services in hell with a question mark back issues, I'm sure that Dave Fisher is in the market for bucket loads of money for CerebusTV episodes.
Well, what I was going to suggest is anyone that wants CerebusTV can email me, and I will forward the request on to Fisher. And if Fisher wants to respond with, "Yeah, I don't think so," well, that's what I'm going to tell people.
No, let's start with one person. We'll start with Mike.
Okay.
And Mike and Dave Fisher, like Mike can just explain, Dave Fisher doesn't listen to Please Hold for Dave Sim. I'm pretty sure. So, Mike, if you can just explain to him that this is how this came about, and this is what you would be willing to pay for all of the episodes of CerebusTV and SimTV that Dave Fisher has. Dave Sim said that's fine, and if Fisher wants to talk to me about it, I'll talk to him about it. But this is in the category of this is why we have reciprocal ownership, so that Max can do whatever he wants with with all of the episodes. I can do whatever I want. Fisher can do whatever he wants. We'll start this one as just Mike Sewell and Dave Fisher, and then if they can play nice and work something out, and Fisher goes, okay, this is my report on that. This is how much time it took me. This is how much money I made. Then I could say, well, I want some of that, or I want half of that, or I want 25% of that, or whatever it is. Or if it's like Chinese food money, well, okay, Dave Fisher gets to order Chinese food for the next 4 Fridays, courtesy of Mike Sewell.
Okay, I will do my behind the scenes magics and see what the two of them come up with, and I will report back if I hear anything good. And if I hear anything bad, you're not going to hear about it.
All right. I get plausible deniability out of that. That's good.